Alright guys, welcome back to another match play for you. Today is going to be a round 1 game between Incineroar and Quad Weak Vileplume. First and foremost, I apologize for the delay in videos. Life, I guess? Slash being lazy? Let's go with the latter. There we go, there's double speed. Yeah, so let's talk about this matchup. Actually, no, let's talk about thanking you for tuning into the live stream if you tuned into the live stream of the top 8. We will finish the top 4 at some point. I apologize. I accidentally did well at Vancouver, and we couldn't finish up the tournament, so we have to finish it up over probably what's close to Thanksgiving, I would bet you. Anyways, so yes, we are going to talk about this matchup now, I guess. Incineroar is going to just try to do Incineroar things where it gets out this big 250 HP Pokemon and swing. And Quad Weak Vileplume is going to find those fire Pokemon and one-shot. It's going to need a lot, though. Thankfully, the water Pokemon in Quad Weak Vileplume is Lapras, and Lapras already has base damage 40. So that with a Choice Band is going to be 280, which is a definite knockout on the Incineroar. So it's gonna be kind of easy if that Lapras can get out. So Incineroar is really gonna try to, or is really going to want to get the Lapras out, get the Quad Weak out, just kind of, do exactly what it needs to. But if Incineroar can get the Hex, get those Lysander KOs on the Vileplume, it'll be fine. So, exactly how you think the matchup would go, because the strategy against Quad Weak Vileplume is to do just that, like just a Hex Loop, and Lysander KO the Quad Weak Vileplume over and over again, that sort of thing. Maybe hope to hit Imposter Oak's Invention on the Lapras. So there's that. Kind of a slower start for the Oricorio here. I am finally going to get those 3 fire Pokemon down. Just took a couple turns. But as long as I can get this Incineroar out without it dying the very next turn, then it'll be okay. Looks like I opt for the 2 big basics, just because I know that I got a little bit of a slower start, and if Greedy gets set up, it can get kind of dicey, I would say. So not going for like the double Litten, not going for the Pyroar, I think is the correct decision here. But I am able to hit this this really quick Lysander here. Oh, and we hit the Muscle Band Energy. So this is actually a very nice start. It is sacrificing a turn later for Incineroar, for sure. But what it is doing is it's giving me the opportunity to just really disrupt him and take these early prizes, and just kind of play the basic trade game, because it is a fire-based deck, and fire-based decks can do that with just the Victini and the Volcanion, is what I would say. Because those 2 cards are in like every deck, and you can just play around those 2 and win purely based off those 2 cards. It would be nice to get the Melodic out, so I can play some double supporters. But it's not needed. Incineroar is one of those decks that sort of can function without it. All it needs to do is get fire Pokemon out, attach an energy to Max Potion. So as long as you hit energies, this Incineroar deck can stand on a lot of legs. But it looks like there is the Lapras. Grady thought this was an EX, but it's not. So that Choice Band is not going to be a knockout here. He's going to take some stuff back. But he will still, if he can get the Quad Weak out, it's all in his discard pile now. He's got the 1/1 in the line in his discard. So if he can get it out somehow, then yeah, he can get this cool Revenge KO, and it leaves me with having to Revenge KO him with the Victini, which is probably what the line of play in my head is. Just like, cool, you took this Quad Weak Vileplume. If he comes up and hits this Lapras knockout, you can just knock this Lapras right back out. So there's that to consider. I agree, just trying to dig at this point. It would also be nice, he needs to get like some sort of swoop teleporter out, I bet you, so he can get this Dunsparce off the bench, to get another support Pokemon down. Right now, he's gonna need to find room for the Vileplume and for a Porygon. So he's already kind of in a sticky situation. But there is the Swoop Teleporter, as I mentioned. Most likely going, actually, maybe just Porygon. Yep, there's the Porygon. I would say, yeah, now he needs Lapras. He's going to be 10 damage short here, so he needs a plus power or a laser. Does get double supporter out because of the swoop play, and then the N would be the second supporter. So he needs to kind of hit the nuts off this, is what I would say. Laser or plus power? Laser or plus power would do it for Grady. I think it only plays plus power. I don't think it plays laser, actually. Grady double checking his prizes that he placed. Looking like he has a decision here, so it's not completely dead. He's gonna go ahead and energy removal so he doesn't get revenge KO. Only a blacksmith will revenge KO him. And he is Laprasing right here, which he goes ahead and fails Lapras. Maybe it's in the discard pile. He will eventually Oddish instead and hope to catch up somehow. And a Sycamore for the second supporter, not the N, sorry. So there's the two supporters. Let's see if he can hit the Broken Time Space, double search cards. And there is the plus power. So he is going to get the return KO here. And like I said, I'm going to need a like a blacksmith on the Victini for revenge KO. If I can get the Incineroar out this turn, maybe that's the solution. But with throwing the Victini back in, most likely going to be from that Melodic, so we can start setting up. I'd be a little surprised if it was for something else, honestly. I don't know what's in my hand because we don't record our hands. It'd be nice to record our hands. Maybe in the future we could try to find a way to do that. But no, it actually is going to be for the Lapras. Since I got knocked out, maybe teammates, maybe just the straight blacksmith. Yep, we're just going to play it safe here. Just going to go for the knockout. Not gonna get too fancy with anything else. The attachment goes down to the Litten, and we're gonna swoop the Lapras. So it actually turns out pretty alright. Maybe for the Litleo, I would think, maybe? Could be for like a Torkoal or something, just another like big basic of some sort. Yep, there's the Litleo. Super Rod's gonna shuffle back in some important Pokemon here. And still waiting on that supporter, but it might be just like a Sycamore because I'm dumping everything. Nope, we were trying to get more cards. There's an Oak. Hopefully I can start setting up with that a little bit. It's nice that I already have Revenge KO on the board, so anything after this is just gravy. Maybe get like some sort of Hex, so I can't Hex, but... Yep, we'll just take a knockout, went to 3, there's 3 Fire Energies in that hand of mine, plus some Pokemon. That hand looks pretty bad, to be honest, but I did knock out the Fire Pokemon, or sorry, the Water Pokemon on his side of the field. Mind you, that deck does play a lot of recovery, but trying to hit a DCE here, or some sort of double energy, might be a little tricky. But Twins will definitely help that out, especially since he has Download and Claydol out. Twins will be a good solution here. Double check his prizes again. Grady not remembering what he prized super often here. Gonna be a long thinking process here. He's gonna need the Quad Weak Vial. I don't think he needs the Quad Weak Vial this turn necessarily, but a knockout on this Victini would be in Grady's best interest. If he can't get the knockout here, I'm gonna just keep setting up with more energies. I already had to blow my supporter last turn on the blacksmith just to get this knockout again. So if I have to do that for another turn, that could be problematic. I didn't opt for that Incineroar, so if I can't do it with these basics or I can't find a turn to evolve, it is going to be kind of sticky. I need to get this Incineroar out. But he is going to get the DCE Lapras Radon back after a trump card play, and there is the tackle again for the knockout. So Where do we go from here? We need to get, like I said, we need to get another knockout. Could go for the other Incineroar. Skyla is the supporter of choice, so that's, I think, signaling that I might have what I need already. Or if Skyla is my only option, then the Professor Oak is gonna be slammed right on down. So it's either probably gonna be for like a rare candy or a searching card, or that Professor Oak. Maybe a searching card for the Feebas to play some more supporters. Maybe I'm trying to go supporter blacksmith. Who knows? It's gonna be for that searching card. It's gonna be for Ultra Ball. Like I said, hard telling what I'll get. Looks like, there's a Toracat. So maybe we're trying to go back up, or maybe it looks like with the Spirit Tomb drop, we are trying to set up the into the Incineroar, it appears. Yes, so this turn is a big gamble. I really have to hope he doesn't get Lysander KO somehow. Like I said, he just needs like a muscle band of some sort. He needs a way to get the quad weak Vileplume out. The game kind of hinges on this turn, to be honest. As I said earlier in the game, this is kind of what it came. This is what since I didn't go into the Incineroar early, there was going to be a turn where either I was going to commit to the Incineroar, or it was going to be a little bit sticky. And it looks like I did catch him with his pants down a little bit here, not having a quick revenge knockout, but the Guzma does come down. Now the Incineroar is online. I just have to be able to stream this, maybe play Hex a couple times, maybe get a Goop Gas attack off, just to ensure that this Incineroar is going to stay alive as long as possible. I don't want any of those Choice Band DCE things happening. I just want to make sure this Incineroar can kind of go the distance, and that's like the strategy with most GX decks, is that you really want to make sure that they can last 4, 5, 6 prizes, especially the 250 HP ones. If they can stay out there and sweep most of the board state, then awesome. And that's what makes Incineroar so good, right? It's like that's one of the few GXs that attacks for 1 energy. So kind of just makes sense there. Looks like I sharinged into a blacksmith. So ironically, kind of funny there. Just because you wouldn't expect that deck to play blacksmith, or copying blacksmith to be so dang good there. But I am setting up this Pyroar just in case. Grady's going to opt for the Kecleon here. So he says, look, I'm going to need a 2-shot this Incineroar. No chance of me hitting this Vileplume, but instead he says, no, we're not going to try to 2-shot it. We're going to try to 1-shot it with Kecleon. We're going to need some heads here. So it's what, 10 plus 30. So 70 doubled. I think he needed like 3 heads. 2 heads is what? 10, 70, 100. Yeah, he needs all 3 heads. If I remember Kecleon's attack correctly. So if he can get the 3 heads here, like, that's super big, but I mean, odds of that happening, I think, are a little bit lower than one would expect. So Grady just doing some maintenance on his turn, playing some supporters, trying to get some stuff down. He's already got the plan of attack on board. He's gonna Kecleon. Might be looking for a swoop here for the Fliptini. That could be what he was thinking of. Yep, here's the swoop. Doesn't go for the Victini though. Goes for the hopefully the Vileplume. I think that's what he's just trying to get. But he has to pitch it, looking for that broken time space and a recovery card, or a forest. I can't remember if the deck plays both. If he can get broken time space recovery card, Greedy's in business. There's a Karina down, so that might signal that he has it already. Looks like for a junk arm, we do remember him. He does have a computer search in the discard pile, so maybe he's no, but he goes for Oak, not the computer search. Just for that little bit of a hand control there. Needs to get that broken time space plus the Vileplume. That's really his only play right now. To try to get a knockout. If he doesn't get that, you can just come up and attempt to smack me. But that Kecleon would be then just straight dead. So yes, he does go into the Spirit Tomb and passes, saying, look, I probably have the Vileplume next turn. I sharinged, and it looks like it's going to be a sharing for, I think, a search card of some sort, probably a Wally. Really would like a the thing is, that's actually good enough there, because I'll be able to flare command up the gloom. But actually, no, we're going for the Kecleon, saying, hey, look, you can't charge that guy up next turn as well. So we say, hey, look, you swooped away your Lapras instead of the Spiritomb. Very unlikely for you, and that was big. So sharing up the Wally is going to put us in control of this game, because we're taking away his main attacker. We are gooping him, so he's probably not going to get a knockout next turn. This Incineroar, at the very least, is going to take 2 more prizes. I do not see how, anyway, with under Goop Lock, how he gets a revenge KO here. Twins is certainly going to help, but it's not going to solve the problem in any way, shape, or form. So, Grady most likely going to be either retreating back into the Spiritomb or attaching an energy and flying flipping. Oh, there's going to be an energy. There's the Goop right on back for me. And there's 20 damage on everything with a flying flip. Let's see, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. I'm only doing 90. I should have attached that muscle band to the active. I think I said that out loud, just like kind of not realizing, like, oh, wait a minute, like, I really would like to knock this dude out. But my computer search comes down, so that's signaling I'm probably going to, I mean, if you're computer searching in this situation, it's very unlikely that I miss a knockout of some sort. It might just be that I flare command up the Gloom, to be honest. That might be the line of play. It might be that I flare command up the Porygon. I think I just probably want to take some sort of knockout on the bench Pokemon, right? Just because this flying flip really isn't that much of a deal right now. Eventually, maybe. Eventually, if he flying flips another 2 or 3 times, it might be that big of a deal. I think Melodic's weak to lightning, so that could be an issue. Looks like I will flare command up the Gloom, though, like I said. Or thinking about it. Maybe saying to myself, hey, look, this attachment could go somewhere else instead. This could go to the Oricorio. The Oricorio is a 30-30 attack. That's not that great, right? Really debating on that, actually, it looks like. Looks like I put a card on top of my deck. It is the Hex. Because I'm debating whether or not to computer search for the Hex or not. Oh, I think I'm looking to sharing. That could be it. Attach the Oricorio. Looks like I play the Hex. Super Energy removal on the Coco. And we're just going to hit it for 90. Just straight 90 here. Kind of interesting play. Like I could have flare commanded up. Oh, no, sorry. He gooped. I don't know what I'm talking about flare command. He gooped, so I couldn't flare command. So I think the Hex is the right decision here, just because him getting a return KO, like I said with the goop initially, is very hard for him to do. Holding onto a Blacksmith, a Ninetales. I can't see the other card. Alex, stop moving your hand around. I can't see what it is. I think it's like a Bill. There's a Ninetales. Ooh, it's an N. Sorry, or a Rockets Admin. So it's a Rockets Admin, a Blacksmith, and a Ninetales. Actually, three pretty good cards here. Rescue Energy gonna go to the Gloom in anticipation for me taking a knockout here, or at least protecting it, right? The attachment of the Gloom just says, look, I'm not going to go into Kecleon this turn. I'm going to do something else. That's really what it looks like it's going to be. So Grady's shuffling up. We'll see a Focus Sash there and a Gust of Wind in hopes to stall. So Grady in back-to-back turns uses Elite Four cards. This retreat is going to be like, yo, I can just flare command around this, you know, right? So I just need to find a way to get the knockout. The Blacksmith would be a great way to retreat. I have 2 retreat cost. So if I have 2 Fire Energies in this card, which I should have, or I could get with Flare Command at the very least, Can go ahead and blacksmith on up to that. And it looks like I can flare command up something. I don't know what I would take a knockout on. Probably the gloom. I could just take a knockout on a support Pokemon as well. It looks like I can't take the Kecleon unless I draw a Windstorm off of this Claydol. The Flare command will be an option though. So that's what it's looking like we're going to do. Really debating on what I should knock out, and it's really hard for me now even thinking. But yeah, maybe I just take a support Pokemon instead of the Gloom just because he can rescue it, but maybe I say, hey, take the Gloom and you still have to find everything. Although a Broken Time Space would be the only card that would add for him to look for. Like, he needs to find the Broken Time Space. That's it. So it's not super hard. So yeah, we are just going to take a support Pokemon. Say, look, now you got to find a recovery and a Broken Time Space to get this guy back out. So we're going to take a knockout here, go up, looks like 6 prizes to 3. And he does hit triple heads here, so he will get the Porygon back out. So just needs a Broken Time Space to get it back into play. Not overly hard, I would assume. But Grady's still going to need a lot here. He's going to need to charge his Kecleon up, and he's going to need probably like Blacksmith Energy. He's going to need that. Maybe he can't use the Broken Time Space because he needs to get out Dimension Valley. A lot of things that Grady actually kind of needs here. Because of the Focus Sash attachment, it makes it so that he needs a lot of heads on this Kecleon flip. Mallow would definitely help that out, unless he, if his plan is to Windstorm himself and maybe attach a Choice Band. Maybe that's the line of play here. Maybe the Mallow goes for Broken Time Space and another supporter so that he can Porygon 2. Granted, though, that doesn't really enhance his predicament at all, right? It just gives him access to a second supporter, which not necessarily what he wants to do here. And the second, unless he needs to Mallow for the second supporter and he has one of the pieces in his hand already. Muscle Band down to the Spiritomb. I think what that is saying, hey, look, if Kecleon dies, I'm going to need to swoop this Spiritomb away. I think that's the line of thought there. Looks like Grady will be able to hit the Vileplume and the Kecleon, but he is going to need to hit, see, 2 heads, I think. 1 heads is 160. 2 heads is, I believe, going to be enough. So here we go, big flip here. And it looks like there is 2 heads, but it actually is short. It's 220 damage on that Incineroar, so I'm really going to be needing to dig for Max Potion. Max Potion Energy would be great. If I could get anything on top of that, it'd be great. Oh, you know, it's the Hex. So the Hex makes the Quad Weak not work. So that's why I didn't do that. I didn't think about that. But anyways, I checked the Focus Sash there because I said if I hex that, does it fall off? Like, it can only be attached to fighting Pokemon. But Roast Reveal, digging for some cards. Like I said, we need a Max Potion and an Energy. I think that's thing number 1. Thing number 2 would then be a Windstorm to get rid of the Focus Sash. But if I don't get rid of the Focus Sash, then I can easily just Flare Command up something and take the KO that way. Escape Rope coming down. I think that's probably just to play some cards from my hand. I would assume, just so I can play it off of more cards. Looks like I'm searching through the deck here. Maybe I sharing and saw something that I can look for. Bet you that's what it is. I sharing to get the Mallow out. So Flare Command up the Vileplume, Max Potion, Energy Attachment, Hex Maniac again. Got all the stuff I needed. 2 prizes on that Vileplume. It is an EX, going down to 1 prize here. Everything I could have possibly needed and more was in that hand. Like I said, I needed the Max Potion, the sharing for the Mallow. Really kind of seal the deal there because it allowed me to get the Max Potion and the Hex. Just the 2 cards I wanted. Now I have all I need is him for not to knock me out, and a fire energy, because the fire energy will allow me to flare command up something very weak and knock it out. So the writing's on the wall here. I'm showing him, yeah, look, I can just flare command. If you can't, looks like you need to hex me this turn, like you already gooped. So you need to hex me, or I have game in my hand. Showing him my hands there, looks like teammates in the up. That's going to be the game. Grady decides to scoop, says, hey, look, I can't win this game. And there's that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next video.